And welcome back. Let's get an update on what has been going on today in both Tuscaloosa and Athens. And Athens is where we begin. Gene Wojciechowski covering the scene down there. Gene, great to see you, and tell us all about it. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Paul. Well, Georgia is going through its prep work. There's no school here, no students on campus, so these players, team meetings, lifting, practices, they are completely 100% focused on this game this week for all the obvious reasons. They'll practice today, tomorrow, through Saturday. They head to Indianapolis late Friday afternoon. Some of the equipment is already on its way to Indianapolis. Sunday and Monday during the day, they will be off their feet. But I can tell you, after talking with the players and Coach Kirby Smart today, they like how things are trending. That game against Michigan was a huge confidence booster after the loss in the SEC championship. And as Jordan Davis has said, that loss to Alabama in that SEC championship was like smelling salts. And the players reiterated that today, as did Kirby Smart, that it was a wake-up call for some of these players. And yes, while you can get a lot of good out of a win, in some cases you can get more good out of a loss. And that seems to be the case in a way when it comes to this Georgia team. They were entirely motivated, engaged in that Michigan game. All you have to do is ask the Michigan players about that, and it showed. So I think they like where they're at right now, physically, mentally, and I think they're looking forward to this rematch against Alabama.
Gene, pardon if I'm a little confused. I've been that way for a while, but you know, you're there, I'm not, but I'm just hearing the Georgia narrative as if they were playing Swanee in a homecoming game and they didn't have a good effort. I mean, they were playing Alabama in the SEC championship game. Why did it take that to wake them up?
Well, I don't know the entire psychology of it, Paul, but we've seen it over and over again in NFL games and college games. You think you sort of have it figured out, and then all of a sudden you don't. And in that SEC championship, obviously, that game turned sideways fast for Georgia, and they hadn't been in that position during the course of the season. And Alabama actually had with that loss to Texas A&M. So I think, you know, even the players talked about that today, to your point, that that maybe they just got a little used to doing what they did and figured they could do the same thing against Alabama. And you know better than anyone, having covered that team for so many years and this league for so many years, that just doesn't happen usually against Nick Saban teams. So Alabama absolutely had a great plan going into that game, and Georgia made some mistakes. You know, Stetson Bennett had a nice game, but the 2 interceptions and the 1 pick six certainly didn't help things. Georgia's offensive line didn't have its best game. Georgia's defense, which of course had been the absolute rock to this team, did not have its best game. It happens. You know, unfortunately for Georgia, it happened that day in Atlanta in the SEC championship against Alabama.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.